guys, it's Dr. Renee. I just wanted to hop on to say hello. I am currently outside enjoying this beautiful weather that we're having in my area and having a little light dinner while I'm waiting for my kids to um, leave basketball practice. So, as I'm sitting here enjoying the time, I was just pondering, and as I often do when I'm sitting and people watching, and I wanted to talk today about the victimizer archetype that has been around for a long time, and I think it's becoming way more pervasive than um, because of social media and because of our ability to spread information. And so I've worked with thousands of people dealing with trauma and things that have happened to them in their lifetime. And I've used Chinese medicine, acupuncture, Chinese herbs, formulas, as well as, a bit of talk therapy to help people. So, when I came into Chinese medicine, it was due to my own pain. And I think pain is such a wonderful gift, even though it sucks to go through. But without pain, change does not happen. It doesn't, it creates the opportunity for change, and hopefully a change for the better. But either way, the change, and the universe doesn't look at change either as bad or good. It just looks at it as a positive and negative, which is part of the yin yang theory of Chinese medicine. But the reason why I am even talking about this is that, you know, I, I have felt, and even as part of my own journey, in my kind of shadow work phase of dealing with trauma, that there's been a lot of attention put on to people that choose a malignant way of living, uh, way of showing up in the world. And with the nuances and the new information about mental health disorders, and in particular, I think narcissism is probably gets thrown around, which, for all intents and purposes, is a blessing because there it helps people understand that there is something, they're not just imagining it. And I am not a licensed therapist, so I'm not even going to go into all of the tidbits about it. There's plenty of them online that you can certainly connect to and listen to what they have to say about NPD. And then obviously, everyone that has narcissistic tendencies, which we all do, are not necessarily diagnosed or narcissistic personality disorder. So, disclaimer with that. And what I'm getting at is that I think that there has been more of a push of uncovering these kind of shadowy aspects of ego and the personality. And I often have found that in part of the healing journey is obviously trying to understand the reason why you got the way you did, and obviously understanding the characters within your life story that contributed to that. But at a certain point, we have to take the accountability of saying, okay, well, this thing happened to me, and I can research and try to understand why. Why did that person serve as that role and that catalyst and all of those things? Or maybe I would have been different had I not had that type of parent, or if I didn't get into that relationship. And maybe all that is true. Doesn't mean it's going to be better or worse. What I'm getting at is that at some point in our healing journey, we have to stop. It's a choice to stop looking beyond ourselves and to be able to put the focus and feed our brain with things that are going to raise our frequency and to be able to heal and dispel trauma that has been trapped into our psyche, our mental, emotional, and physical selves. So, just as much as you spend to try to understand the traits of toxic people and to make sense of it or why things have happened to you, also because everything is about balance, and so with that, if you are only looking at one side and not the other, you are going to create imbalance in your life. So also spending time to really dive into what is the traits of people that are positive, that are productive, that are living in their life mission, that have gone through where you're going through and come out to the other side, as well as what is the likeliness of you being into your highest form, your highest spiritual authority, your highest timeline, minus the trauma, not erasing it, but what is the wisdom from it. And I have found in practice and even in with myself that we can get buried down with the details of this thing happened, but less into the details of like, okay, well, how do I get myself out of it? So I just, included myself, you know, being able to release that and release the need to know to kind of serve or to satisfy our egoic self, trying to understand our trauma from an intellectual way, and then pinpoint it to say, hey, this is why this happened because this person did this. It keeps us in this victimizer archetype, and it doesn't allow us to grow and to heal. Even those that inflict trauma, they have experienced trauma. But what we do with it and the lessons we learn from it and how we grow from it and how we evolve from it is always back on us. So I don't know why I was led to make this message, and I hope it serves whoever it reaches. Love you guys. Take care. Go out and enjoy the weather. Bye-bye.